The tool I'm holding right now is the DIPDA stick. I'm going to show you how to use the stick to shape the swing in the backswing, and then use power after impact. You can grab a little like this first. You can imagine the backswing in this state. If this happens, I can hold my hand in the same way as the golf position, and find the position I want to make. At this time, there is a little tension, so too strong tension is not good. Only as far as the body can do while feeling the power of rotation. You can stop like this. If you do this exercise, do the same on the other side. Hold it on the other side. You can grab this and swing it up. If you raise it like this, the tension will be too small and you will not be able to receive this strength. So, first of all, reverse the swing. Hold the club this way and dip the stick so that it does not fall backwards like this. You can think of going in the same direction as the horizontal and slowly raise it like this. At this time, do not lift with the force of your arms, but the force of the body. Lifting, the force of the pelvis. The force of the pelvis. There is no need to have too much tension. In this state, you can practice using the lower body naturally as well. At this time, hold the frame well so that the angle of the arm does not collapse, and then rotate it with the power of the pelvis and torso. When you hit the ball, there are a lot of cases where your body falls backwards during the downswing. To prevent that from happening, imagine that the circle rotates from the front. This is the correct circle in golf. Because I'm standing, you're drawing a circle in front of me. You draw a circle like this, but the golf posture is like this because the upper body is bent. So, imagine a follow-through like this. Imagine drawing a circle from the front. This will create a circle of your downswing. It's like a golf circle. The same goes for the backswing. This is the cause. But if you lower your upper body, golf becomes a circle like this. In this way, even if the golf swing circle is separated from the shoulder circle, with the DIPDA stick, it can rotate very naturally. So, if you can imagine the swing circle of golf well, the body, pelvis, arm, club can combine well into a very effective plane. So, when you hit the ball, no matter how good your posture is, it often collapses at the moment of impact. Most of the cases where the posture collapses at the moment of impact is when the upper body rises too much. When it comes to when the upper body wakes up, when trying to use force from the lower body, it is often not possible to maintain the twist and the upper body is lifted. Of course, there are many cases where it happens even when the lower body is not used, so it would be good to practice riding DIPDA while holding the DIPDA stick on the floor and keeping the body bent. When you hit the ball with this motion, it's like this. I'm holding the club, and it hasn't even happened yet. Likewise, here we are now, sending the club to this. Even at this time, you should try not to get up as much as possible and watch the tee. In the next step, the upper body will be able to rise. So, in this section passing through the impact section, upper body does not rise. If you don't use your lower body, it'll look like this. Hold it with both hands and practice your swing with the help of shoulder rotation. If you come down from DIPDA and do this exercise as it is, if you use this feeling to shift your weight, it will be the finish. Here, if you are doing this exercise using rotation on DIPDA, you can practice with the lower body lead. After practicing using DIPDA's lower body lead, maximize the movement of the lower body and use this force to practice waking up after the stick has passed. It is better to make the stick part lightly touch the shoulder when the stick is turned over, rather than holding a stick. It's a much better practice to touch the shoulder and let the strength go away. The next step is to induce cocking with a DIPDA stick. It is an exercise to let the stick fall naturally by dropping the wrist naturally. It doesn't go well at first. It's because I'm holding it all the time. It's okay to put your feet together when you first do it in step 1. Your hands can't go this far until you put your feet together and touch your shoulders. The hands move as close to the body as possible, moving away from impact and moving like this. At this time, when I teach cocking and recocking like this so that the hand does not come off the club, the palm sometimes falls off the club. As you can see in the hand, the palm of the hand must be held on the club. In golf, the movement of the knee is used to accelerate the rotation of the pelvis. When you practice with your feet together, you can see that if you practice by tapping your knees slightly, you will go much faster. When the power is released at the end, the stick goes up lightly on the shoulder. You can use this exercise to practice spinning. At this time, use DIPDA and practice with the same feeling of sitting down and getting up. So I practiced using my lower body with my wrist. Using this feeling, you can do it with your left hand if you rotate. You can do it with your right hand. After caulking, do not straighten your arms too much and practice using rotation with a feeling that the armpits are slightly attached. At this time, even if it is a little heavy, you have to practice putting it down boldly on the floor. Swinging the club as if you were releasing it will make your swing easier. When this is done, do a cocking rather than a big swing with both hands, and then practice using your knees and waist. The golf swing doesn't rotate when you try to draw a big circle. If you try to draw a large circle, you may not be able to generate power because you draw a circle with only your arms and hands. People who hit the ball very well and use rotation well can create more distance or better direction because their body rotates well while drawing a large circle. But amateurs prefer using body rotation rather than making a large circle. It's important, when practicing for the first time, the circle of the downswing that comes out when the armpit is lightly attached and the left arm is rotated, and the circle of the backswing that appears when the armpit of the right arm is lightly attached and rotated. We have to think that a circle exists where these two intersections occur. It doesn't just form a single circle. The axis shifts to the left during the downswing. But when you put your arms like this, the circle gets too big. If this happens, you will be unable to use your body strength while only using your arms, which will slow the club down. So, you have to practice making circles of a suitable size like this. The next movement is to rotate the lower body while keeping the stick horizontal on DIPDAGOLF. It is similar to the practice of not raising the upper body at impact, but it is a method of practicing the lower body lead a little more, because the upper body usually rises during practice. When you finish the movement with your body slightly bent, the weight with the legs fully extended is a little more on the left foot. With this feeling, practice at DIPDA when you come to the ground. You practice on the ground with your lower body lead until the finish. Even if you do not intentionally finish with your upper body, you can reach the finish through the lower body lead and weight shift. At this time, you can practice using the position in which you hold the club as much as possible so that your arm does not fall out intentionally. If you swing with this feeling, you can feel the lower body. If you hold this DIPDA stick in the shoulder direction, the swing will naturally occur with the movement of the torso and pelvis. Here, if you rotate with your arms, you cannot use your arms to rotate with your torso. So, refrain from moving your arms as much as possible. Hold the club and then use the movement of your torso to finish with your lower body. If you rotate your torso with a DIPDA stick, that's your backswing. In the downswing, on the other hand, when movement occurs in the pelvis, the upper body follows the rotation. The body movement is the backswing, and the downswing is the movement of the lower body, leading the swing and bringing the upper body along. So in the beginning, when you practice, don't do your backswing, but bring your practice on DIPDA to the ground. I practice for about 30 minutes, then come down to the ground and practice with my lower body about 3 times. After that, you can practice your swing with the feel of your lower body after your backswing.